I'm going from Parliament to what I love doing best, campaigning in my electorate. So I don't think it's a sense of relief. I think, though, it's a sense of achievement and great pride. And what I think I've hated most about this period is the denigration of the Parliament, that somehow this hasn't worked because it's a hung Parliament. This institution has been magnificent. So I'll be honest, I'll be getting a bit more sleep in the next couple of weeks because I'll be in my own bed and I won't be laying awake thinking, oh, what do I do now and how's this going to happen and what's going to unfold then? But it's a wonderful thing to have had the honour to do, and I've been blessed to be able to have the opportunity to do it.
Kevin Rudd appealed for a kinder, gentler atmosphere. Is that possible?
We live in an adversarial system. That is what our system of government is. And I don't know, you can throw out the platitudes, you can talk about it what you like. Be passionate about your politics. Be concerned about what you're there for. We're all there. We all make sacrifices, as you all heard in these valedictories. We come there for our reasons, but you don't need to play the man. You don't need to be personal about it. That's all I'd say. As opposed to, who cares about a bit of name calling? Sometimes it's a bit of fun. Sometimes it's quite amusing. One of my hardest bits in the chair is not being able to laugh at some of the stuff that goes on or yell out my own interjection. But, I think it has become more fractious over my 15 years. And I think what we need to show respect for is the institution. Show respect to the institution of the Prime Minister, which I think has been denied to the former Prime Minister. Show respect to the institution of the Parliament.
Do you think Ms Gillard was treated differently because of her gender?
Yes. I don't think there's any question about it. You only had to read, I've been in Parliament for 15 years. 9 of those years was in opposition and then the last 6 in government. And I've never had the tenor and the tone of emails and conversations. And I think people, it's certainly unleashed within a section of the community this untoward thing that it was a female and they couldn't really quite cope. On the other hand, you got a whole lot of people who were ecstatic that we had a female Prime Minister. There was this dichotomy there, but I certainly think, the front page of the Telegraph this week showed it all. If a Prime Minister goes on to a women's magazine, say with his 3 daughters and his wife, and shows himself as a cuddly nice person, that's great. But a Prime Minister who goes on to a women's magazine showing she likes to do something in her spare time that mightn't be in Lycra, that's bad. Why the double standard?
You once described the House of Representatives as being something like boarding school on steroids. Do you still think that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Look, this is a bizarre atmosphere to come and work in. We come down here, we are more or less locked up together, for 24 hours a day, 4 days a week in this, adversarial environment. So it does create a bit of a different place to work, but it also creates some great friendships across the chamber. It also creates some great environment. As Rob Oakeshott rightly said in his valedictory speech, almost 500 bits of legislation passed, 87% with bipartisan support. That's what people don't see. All those committee inquiries going on behind the scenes. The phenomenal work of the staff of this building should not go unrecognised during this parliamentary term either. The work they've done to make the place work, to bring the people together, which on the whole they do. What people see is question time. It's an hour and 15 minutes. I count them most days. I will be honest. I count them down. I will survive. I do that. That's all it is. But that's the theatre of it as opposed to the reality of what goes on.